Now I'll resume the topic I had covered in the last video that I uploaded on the YouTube channel, integrating into existence. Among the various comments in that video, I was asked a question that leads me to further develop, or perhaps better clarify, what I was trying to convey. So, again, I will read out loud the message that was sent to me, I mean the question that was asked, so we can better understand each other. It says, "Hello Marco, I've been on the path for 8 months. Obviously the minimum level of silence is still the central element, although from there I try, as appropriate, to use the other tools, such as releasing intensity, accessing the area of possibilities, stopping and changing direction, and so on. I'm experimenting. Some things I understand and experience better than others, others not at all. It's normal. Over time all the elements then start to come together, but it takes time. Above all, it takes dedication. But it seems to me that you are doing that. Anyway, aside from that, silence is the most concrete change in my daily life, and that is the basic thing. But I have a practical question about daily life. How is it appropriate to act energetically in the face of real danger, real concerns? I am referring in my case to work and social issues, but the question could apply to others as well. I don't see any solutions. I realize that a complicated situation in some orders of the structure of sociality, like my present situation, takes energy away from me. Making silence, not giving voice to dialogue, weakens the action of worrying. Nonetheless, some issues are concrete, tangible. I realize that maybe this belongs to stalking. Yes, and maybe it's even a very good opportunity if it's seen as a chance to practice and not just a problem. But I realize that many times the energy expenditure is there, as well as the action of the mind suggester. And this often holds me back and takes away my strength. Well, that's the mother of issues, because we need energy, for example, for dreaming or whatever. And where do we get it? We can only take it by disengaging it from where it is currently engaged. And currently it's all engaged in the structure of sociality that we are dealing with concretely in the everyday life. So this is really the central issue. Obviously, as you've already anticipated, this is strictly a matter concerning the art of stalking. So already when you get to that part of the course, that point will be quite a bit clearer, as well as many others, I hope. But now I'm trying to be as practical, as pragmatic as possible, and make it as simple as possible. So I'll give only one piece of advice that applies a little bit to everything, which is actually what I repeat over and over again. I've already pointed this out in the books, in the online course. However, I think that repeating it is essential. We have a tendency, when we want to apply the levers of the magical arts, to immediately pick on the bigger, more important issues. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work because we run up against the lack of energy that we can't make up for, and therefore, lacking the energy to deal with the important issues, we can't make it. Not right away. And we also lack confidence. Confidence in our inner seer, confidence in the will, confidence in the direction given by the vibratory aspect. Yes, because our attempt to make decisions no longer based on faith, on trusting the inner dialogue and thus on a suggestion, but based instead on the totality of ourselves and the relationship with spirit, on our will. This attempt comes up against the continuous interference. The continuous interference by the suggester that tells us, if you stop thinking, you're going to be wrong. Or, translated into other terms, it tells us, without me you can't succeed in making the correct decisions to manage your existence. you will make a mess. Without me, it's going to be a disaster. Therefore, this issue has to be solved a little at a time. We need to prove to ourselves that this is not the case at all, that we can cope very well. In fact, we function much better, faster, with more lucid direction, with less energy dissipation, with a proper use of energy, with better results, with choices that are untethered from all the components, including those related to the concentration on ourselves, and so on. However, if we try to do that right away on the important issues, the ones that make us worry so much, we don't hold up. We can't do it. Creeping anxiety will get the better of us. So, in our training, my advice is to start with the simplest things. Make it easy on ourselves. Start making decisions and taking actions without thinking, but trusting in our will and our relationship with the world. Starting with things that don't matter, even very small things. We start by choosing these things that are so small and that therefore do not involve a special concern, any kind of disaster that may loom over our existence. We choose, I don't know, one place to sit rather than another, and we may then find out, though, that it was the right place for various reasons. Now I'm just giving a random example, but I mean that's the idea. To choose, apply this choice absolutely in the body, on matters that are unimportant, on minimal things. There are plenty throughout the day, so we have endless opportunities to fine-tune the right sensation. What we have to learn is to recognize when the body relaxes and makes the right choice. When our body relaxes, it connects with what's around us. It balances itself, the world around us. I mean, our energy configuration balances itself with that of the emanations outside, and at that point there is this very exact and very precise sensation that we learn to recognize a little bit at a time, that what we are doing, the gesture, the action, the choice, the direction we are taking, is the good one, the one that is using energy well. The other indispensable component of making the right choice is the presence of death and considering ourselves already dead. The strength of the suggester, its grip, is very much based on the fact that we have something to lose, and that if we don't rely on its protection, on its help, we will surely lose this something. Actually, a lot of times we really lose it by listening to him. But whatever, that's another matter. Let's say it also makes us do a lot of stupid things. But that's not always the case, right? And so on average in life we think we better listen, follow the whole set of directions from our internal dialogue, because otherwise, how do I choose? I might make disastrous mistakes and lose something. Warriors consider themselves already dead, and therefore have nothing to lose. This absurdly ends up helping them make the right choice, the one that on the contrary will lead them precisely to catch the right opportunities for them, which may not be the ones they had envisioned, but other possibilities open up. By the way, these other possibilities would never open up if we were not available to death, and to the fact even that we could lose what is at stake. So, summarizing, starting with very simple issues in which we can relax, which we can take as play, to have fun choosing with the totality of ourselves through the relationship with the world. And little by little we raise the stakes. We move on to choices, decisions, actions that are more and more challenging on the level of our existential involvement in these decisions, in these actions. But the presence of death as an advisor that replaces the suggester is crucial. Lastly, of course, in all of this, the concentration on ourselves plays a crucial role, because many of the social issues that seem so intricate to us are resolved in a moment by getting our cumbersome image, the heavy construction of ourselves, out of the way. I hope this was helpful.